Now we will remove the plastics. Here is a pin, so you open it like this, here you lift up, and then you lift in front, yeah, and you have the first plastic part out. To remove this side panel, take out the rubber, and then we go bolts. Here is one bolt, second bolt, third bolt, fourth one, and here from the front is the fifth one. Yeah. When all the bolts are out, so here is a pin. So again, you lift it like this, and the side panel is out. Now we need to remove the seat supports. So here are 3 bolts. Now we need to take out the cover. You put the hands like this, and you just pull it out. We need to remove also the seat locks. Yeah, so 1 and second. To be able to remove the original airbox, we need to get out these plastic panels and this radiator. So I start with the radiator because the bolt holding the airbox is hidden behind it. Now we need to remove this and this deep bolt to be able to open the plastic cover. Again, on this side, we will remove the bolt holding the airbox. We disconnect here the tube, and we do here in the back again the bolts that are holding the airbox. We do it also on the other side. Now we need to cut the zip tie. On the left side of the motorcycle, there you see the flange going from the airbox to the engine, and here are 2 sleeves, one sleeve and the second sleeve. So you have to release now the sleeve that is closer to the engine, this one in our case. Now take old tower to protect the frame, long screwdriver, and you will work like a lever, and you lift it up like this, and it's done. Now we need to remove this connector. You push here a lot, and then you pull it out. Now we are on the right side of the motorbike, and you see here there are 2 tubes secured by the zip ties. So now we are speaking about the upper one, so we need to cut the zip tie. Now we remove the tube, it's very easy. And now we can finally put out the original airbox. Done. We need to get out of the original airbox the heat sensor and the rubber snorkel, the rubber tube, how we call it. So we simply remove these 2 screws. You release this sleeve closer to the airbox, and now you will pull it out. It's long, it's up to here, yeah? So you do it like this, and now at this stage you put your thumb and you do this to get it out. Let's take the small airbox, put the sensor inside, make sure that this pin is outside, and screw in. Now prepare the arm and the 2 self-tapping screws. It looks like from the top that there is no hole, but it's not true. Yeah, when you look from the bottom, so there is a hole for the screws. Yeah, here is a small mark. Yeah, so to make it easier, the screwing, I suggest you put it here and you press it a little bit, so you make the mark a little bit bigger. Yeah. On both sides. So you have the arm, prepare the Torx 20. You go diagonally inside the airbox. You hold it from the bottom with your fingers. Yeah. You take the self-tapping screw, hold it there. Oops. Take the Torx. And at the beginning it's fine just to catch it, yeah, and you can do the second one, in fact the same way. What is important first, that you screw it in, but when you start feeling that you are already touching the surface, yeah, so then you go very carefully. It's fine to go another quarter of turn, maximum half turn, yeah, because if you do more, it's possible, but you might destroy the plastics, yeah, and it's not necessary. Even now, it's very stable there. Now you take the original rubber intake. We need to get it in. So press it here in the middle, squeeze it like this, insert it, yeah? And then you see here is the rim, so you need to get it inside, yeah? Yeah. The check is that you see the rim, it's a little bit above the surface of the airbox. On one side, on the other side is lower. Now, here you can see a small mark, yeah, and here's also a small mark, so it has to be aligned, yeah. Now you take the screwdriver and you will tighten the sleeve. What is important to say, that this is steel sleeve going against rubber and plastic, yeah. So you should use only appropriate amount of force, yeah. When I see already the tension, I stop and I check, yeah. If I cannot rotate with the snorkel, so I think it's good enough, so there don't go any dust inside, yeah. And on the other hand, you don't destroy the shape of the airbox. So please be careful with that. The last thing on the small airbox, you put there the tube. One remark before you will enter the small airbox. Here is a quick release on the fuel line from the fuel pump to the engine, yeah. Sometimes happen to people that they by accident touch only slightly this quick release, and then after they cannot start the engine. So when inserting the small airbox, make sure you don't touch this. Connect the heat sensor. Then above the cylinder head, insert the tube like this. And now we are ready to put the airbox on the intake, like this. Center it, yeah. And then from the left side again, secure the sleeve. Prepare it more or less like this, yeah. Measure it and cut it, and then you can insert it immediately. Now we need to connect the breathing from the engine. Yeah, so what we do, we cut it here more or less in between. Yeah. What is helpful to use a little bit of grease on the T, because then it's easier to insert in. Yeah. And it's done. Now you take the foam filter. You see it's already pre-oiled, yeah, so it's better to use the gloves. Yeah, and it fits there this way. It's not in the center, it's a little bit more on one side. This is also on one side. So turn it like this, yeah, and you need to insert the cage inside the foam filter. Yeah. The holes should be more or less aligned here. Now we take the dust cover. It goes logotype on logotype. Yeah. Again, make sure that the holes are aligned. Yeah. And then take the quick release fastener, put it inside, and we are ready to put it on the airbox. So you take a bit of grease and you put it around the surface. Yeah. It will further increase the sealing with the foam filter. One more info for you. This is kind of thing to center it correctly on the airbox. Yeah, it's on both sides. And this goes onto the arm here. Yeah, so This will help you to guide you in there. Yeah, and then what is important to be like this at the beginning, you push and you turn and it's there. So the storage is in there, everything is connected. So now actually only put the original plastics back and put the seat on and you are ready to ride.